you work with clients who run sales, here are a few points you might want to consider. So let's just draw a graph of your client's revenue over a 12-month period. 12 months. So I put it here as a flat line. In truth, it'll be a little bit lumpy. There'll be some ups and downs. There'll be some seasonal changes. But for the purposes of today, let's just call this your client's revenue. Now, when they run a sale, you see a nice uptick in revenue, like that. But the part you also see that clients often ignore is what happens immediately post-sale, because quite often you see a drop below the baseline and then a slow recovery. I've exaggerated it a little bit. It's probably not as deep as that. But there is often this sort of hangover effect that you see post-sale. And what it is these are your clients' repeat purchasers, repeat customers who see the sale and they bring their revenue forward, they bring their purchase forward so that all the revenue is captured under the sale period as opposed to the normal non-sale period. Now the problem with this is that this non-sale revenue, or this non-sale period, this is full margin revenue. The sale period, this is very skinny margins because there's a discount. So let's say it's a 40% off sale and your client's margin is only 50%. You've now got a gross margin of just 10% here as opposed to the normal 50% margin in a non-sale period. Now if we just apply some simple maths, say you do $1 million or your client does an additional $1 million of sales over and above the baseline, whereas here they lose $300,000 in sales that they otherwise would have got. So $300,000 below baseline, $1 million above baseline. The gross profit here on $1 million, 10% margin, is 100K. Whereas over here, margin of 50%, 300K you're not getting, you are now minus 150 in gross profit compared to where you would have been otherwise without the sale. So you put these two together and you come out behind. So that's the first problem, but that is not the only problem. Because if your client's customers know there is a sale coming, if the client advertises it, if it's something like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where customers know in advance that a sale is coming, then you see a similar sort of thing happening before the sale. In the lead up to the sale, baseline starts to drop off and it drops right down to the point of the sale, and then obviously it goes straight back up. Again, you've got this same issue here of full margin revenue that starts to go into decline that often outstrips the actual gross revenue, gross profit that you make from this within this sale period. So you've got two big problems here and here from a profitability point of view. Now there's a third and even bigger problem, and that is your client's customers start to understand that sales happen. If your client's running sales frequently throughout the years, then the customers who are keen to get the discount will happily sit on the sidelines and wait for the next sale to come along. So what that means is that this year-long baseline revenue, in the following year, it starts to dip a little. The year after, it goes down even further. And this is just a reflection of the customers being pretty clever and understanding that their client goes on sale all the time, or your client goes on sale all the time. And so they say to themselves, well, why pay full price when I know that there's a sale coming at some point? And you have this really quite dire long-term effect of year-on-year revenue dropping year after year because customers are constantly sitting on the sideline waiting for the next sale to come along. Now there's another problem as well, and that is the sale itself. Sales are not simple. They are logistically quite a handful. There's a lot of moving parts. The client has to change the prices on their products. They've got to update their website to reflect that. They've got to change their website to promote the sale. They're going to manage their social channels to promote and talk about the sale event. If you're their marketing agency, you've got to run advertising for them to promote the sale. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of logistics and a lot of difficulty to get a sale going, and then you've got to undo it all and switch it off at the end. So it is a lot of rigmarole, and there's also the opportunity for mistakes. So invariably there can be mistakes like an advertising campaign that remains switched on, so there might be some rogue ads advertising the sale after the sale is finished. There might be some products where the prices haven't been put back up to the full price. There are things that can go wrong. So you take all of this together, it's logistically quite challenging. There's the opportunity for mistakes, and to achieve what? To achieve a spike in revenue, short term, that ultimately is not profitable and can ultimately lead to long-term decline in your baseline sales because you've trained your customers to always look out for the next available discount. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that sales are completely, like as a blanket rule, never run them. There are reasons why you want to do a sale, and they can be to get rid of stock. So you might be a discontinued line and you just want to, like, your client wants to be done with it and get rid of it, and so they put it on sale just to get it out of the door. That's fine. It could be that your client has perishable items like food that are reaching an expiry date. So again, it's appropriate to discount them and just say, all right, let's get them out the door. Might be a little more strategic. They might have a sale specifically designed to attract new customers, or specifically designed to re-engage lapsed customers. There may be reasons to do it, but the point of this is you don't want to do it simply because your revenue numbers are falling and you need to hit a spike in revenue for all of these reasons that we've talked about. All right, I hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll come back to you. Thanks for watching.